All right, here's the video for lesson 6.03C, independent practice. Here we're gonna do the same thing we have done in the previous two lessons. We're finding the equation of a line. What's gonna be different is they're gonna give us a word description instead of a graph, instead of a table. They're gonna give us words. Now I'm gonna do this problem backwards. Okay, I'm not gonna do it in the same order as what you see in the assignment. This is question number 5, so I'm gonna start with that one. And you can see here, see, there's no graph, there's no table. Instead, they gave us a description. However, we're still doing the same thing we did before. We are gonna take this equation, y equal mx plus b, which is the equation of a line, okay, slanted line. And your job is to replace the b and to replace the m like we have done previously. Now remember that b is the y-intercept. That's how we call b, the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is a point on the y-axis, okay? Now, because we do not have a graph, how do we know when we're working with the y-intercept? They're gonna give us a point that looks like this, 0, comma b, okay? So every time you see a point like this that start with 0, that's the y-intercept. And the number after the comma is gonna be your b. And the m is your slope. Remember, m means slope. Rise over run. Okay? So when you start reading this problem, you're going to find out, look, they gave you the y-intercept. See? The y-intercept. They gave it to you. Okay? And they also gave you the slope. Look, the slope. They gave it to you. So what I'm going to do when I write the equation of this line, that's going to look like this, y equal blank x plus b, where the blank space highlighted in green is the slope, and the blank space highlighted in yellow is my y-intercept. You can see right away that my b is the point 0, comma 6.7. So 6.7 is my b. That's what I'm going to put here. And my m is the slope. And the slope, they told you, is -7 over 6. See, that's my m. So I'm going to put here -7 over 6. See, from a word description, I was able to find the equation of this line. Let's go do another problem. All right, here's question number 4. This question here is number 4. I'm not doing this in order because I want to do some of the problems that I consider it will be easier to do first before I do some other problems that takes a little bit more time. Okay. Again, we are working with finding the equation of a line. The only thing is that they didn't give us a graph. They didn't give us a table. However, we're still doing the same thing. We want to find the value of b, and we want to find the value of m. Remember, b is the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is a point on the y-axis. And the point is going to look like this, 0, comma b. Okay? And the m is the slope. That's what the m is. And remember, slope is rise over run. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find b first. Now remember, my final answer is going to look like this. Y equal blank x plus blank. Okay? Remember, the blank space highlighted in yellow is my b. The blank space highlighted in green is my m. Now, when you start reading the word problem, you're going to see, okay, see, they gave you a word description. Look, they gave you the y-intercept. Can you see that it says 0, comma -4? It looks like the y-intercept. So that means that my b here is -4. So in this blank space, I'm going to put -4. Okay, now what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to find m. To find m, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 points and I'm going to do this little table. See, X and Y. And I'm going to have two rows. The first row is the point 0, -4. And the second row is -20, 21. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the rise by subtracting the y's. Okay? And I'm going to find the run subtracting the x's. Okay? Using a calculator. You can use a calculator. That's what I'm going to do right now. Here is my calculator. I'm going to subtract the y's, -4, subtract 21. And you can see I got -25. That's my rise. And the run is going to be 0, 0 minus -20. And you can see I got 20. So what will be my slope? The rise, -25, over the run, 20. Now use the calculator to simplify your slope. So look, I'm going to type it in. 25 over -20. Now you get a decimal, click on the circle. You can see I got -5 over 4. That's what I put right here. And I found the equation of the line of problem number 4. Let's go to the next one. All right, this question here is number 3, okay? I'm not doing it in the same order as you will see it in the assignment. Again, I'm finding the equation of the line, slanted lines that look like this, y equal mx plus b. Remember, we're looking for two numbers, the value of b and the value of m. The value of b is called the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is the point on the y-axis, and it looks like this, okay? Parentheses 0, comma b. And the m is the slope, okay? And the slope is rise over run. So they gave us a word description. Now you're going to read the problem and you're going to start looking for B, the y-intercept. When you start reading, look, it says it right there. The y-intercept is 0, 2. So that means that the 2 here is your B. So when you're writing your equation, that is going to look like this. Y equal blank, x plus blank. The blank space at the end, that's your B. So in our case, our B is going to be 2. Okay, now we're going to find m, which is the blank space that I highlighted in green. And how do we find m? What you're going to do is you're going to take these 2 points, these 2 parentheses. You're going to make a little table, x and y column. You're going to have 2 rows. The first row, 0, 2. Second row, 6, -40. Okay, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna find the rise. And how do you find the rise? You're gonna subtract the y's. And then you're gonna find the run by subtracting the x's. Now using your calculator, use your calculator. Oops, my bad for that. Okay, use the calculator. There it is. In the calculator, you're gonna subtract the y's. So 2 subtract -40. You can see I got 42 for the rise. Now I'm going to find the run. And I'm going to do 0 take away 6. And you can see I got -6. Now remember, the slope is rise over run. So my rise is 42 and my run is -6. And when you put this in the calculator, okay, so 42 over -6, you can see I got -7. So my slope here is -7. And there is the equation of my line. Let's go to the next problem. All right, the next problem here, this is question number 2. Okay, like I have shown you in all the other problems, we're finding the equation of the line that looks like this, y equal mx plus b. We want to find the value of m, the slope, and we want to find the value of b, the y-intercept. Okay, let me write that down. So this is the y-intercept, and the y-intercept is a point on the y-axis that looks like this. 0 comma b. Okay, and m is the slope, and the slope is rise over run. Okay, so when you find those two numbers, your answer at the end is going to look like this: y equal blank x plus blank, where the blank space in yellow is the value of b, and the blank space in green is the value of m. So they gave us a word description. When you start reading, right away you can see they gave us the y-intercept. So the number inside the parentheses after the comma, okay, the negative 11, that's going to be my b. That's what I'm going to put right here. Okay, and I'm going to now find my m, my slope. How? I'm going to make a table, x and y, with 2 rows, and I'm going to put the 2 points, the 2 sets of parentheses. The first parenthesis, 0, negative 11. The second parenthesis, negative 5, negative 61. And I'm going to find the rise. Okay, and the rise, we're going to subtract the y. So let's subtract the y's. See, we're going to subtract the y's to find the rise. We're going to subtract the x's to find the run. So take your calculator again. Okay, let me clear all of this. So we're going to do the y's, negative 11, subtract negative 61. You can see I got 50. And now we're going to subtract the x's. So 0, take away negative 5. You can see I got 5. Okay. And now we're going to do the slope, which is rise over run. The rise is 50. The run was 5. And when you put this in the calculator, 50 over 5, you can see I got 10. So my slope here is 10. And that's how you do problem number 2. Okay, let's go to the next problem. All right, in this problem, what happens is it's all words. There's no parentheses with 2 numbers. However, when in words, they gave you 2 points. Look, when you start reading, when you see that it says the initial height is 1.5 centimeters tall, right there, that's your first point, 0, comma 1.5. Every time they say initial, that will start with 0, and then the next number, that's going to be the number after the comma. If you keep reading again, okay, I'm going to keep reading. If you keep reading, look, it says, after 3 weeks, the height was 9 centimeters tall. So that's your second point, 3, comma 9. Okay? And remember, we are finding the equation of the line, y equal mx plus b. So my answer is going to look like this, y equal blank x plus blank. Remember, the b, okay, is the y-intercept. That's what goes in this blank space. And the m, the slope, is what goes in this blank space. So again, b is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the point that looks like this, 0, comma b. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And if you look, this point looks like 0, comma b. So basically that means that 1.5 is my b. That's what I'm going to put here, 1.5. And then we're going to find the m, the slope. And to find the slope, that's rise over run. Now, because I had 2 points, okay, I'm going to make like a little table. Let me do it here. X and Y. My first point, 0, 1.5. My second point, 3, comma 9. To find the rise, subtract the y's. To find the run, subtract the x's. Use the calculator, guys. Okay, use the calculator. So let me clear all of this. I'm going to do 1.5. So I'm going to find the rise. So subtract the y's. 1.5 minus 9. You can see I got negative 7.5. And then I'm going to find the run. So I'm going to subtract 0, take away 3. And you can see I got negative 3. And then I'm going to do the slope, which is rise, negative 7.5, over the run, negative 3. Okay? And then I'm going to put it in the calculator so I can simplify negative 7.5 over negative 3. And you can see I got 2.5. And that is your slope. And this is the equation of this scenario that is explained in words. Let's do the last problem. And by the way, this was problem number 1. Okay, let's do the last problem. Okay, this is problem number 6, the last problem. You can see it's another word problem. We are writing the equation of the line y equal mx plus b. Okay, b is the y-intercept, m is the slope. Your answer in the answer box is going to look like this: y equal blank x plus blank. Remember the blank space highlighted in green, the slope, the blank space highlighted in yellow, the y-intercept, okay? So remember that the y-intercept, which is the b, is a point on the y-axis. And that point is going to look like this, 0, comma, b, okay? And the m, the slope is rise over run. Okay? Now, the problem here is, again, they gave you everything in words. But like I did in the previous word problem, okay? When I start reading, it says, you have a gift card with $30. So when you have the gift card for the first time, you have $30. That's your first point. And that point will be 0, comma 30, see? And when you keep reading, they tell you that after you purchase 4 cups of coffee, I don't want to use green, I want to use a different color. 4 cups of coffee, there's still left $13 in the gift card. Right there, that's your second point, 4, comma 13. Okay? So let's find the B. The B is the y-intercept. The y-intercept is the point on the y-axis, and the point on the y-axis looks like 0, comma a number, and that's what this looked like. And then that means that your b here is going to be 30, so 30 goes here. Now we're going to find the slope. How do we find the slope? We're going to do a little table here. Okay, I'm going to put it right here, x and y, and I'm going to have 2 rows. My first point is 0, comma 30. And my second point is 4, comma 13. And to find the rise, subtract the y's. And to find the run, you're going to subtract the x's. So use the calculator. Okay, so we're going to do here 30 minus 13. And you can see I got 17. And then you're going to subtract 0 minus 4. And you can see I got negative 4. And then we're going to do the slope. And the slope is rise over run. So I'm going to put this in the calculator. So 17 over negative 4. And you can see I got negative 4.25. Here I'm going to leave it as a decimal because this is a word problem that uses decimal. Money. When you work with money, we write it like decimal. And this is how you do problem number 6. Okay? I hope that helped.